Friday's NBL is almost upon us, but before we get into our tips, you know what to do. Subscribe, like, and let us know, please, what you are backing so we can chat, discuss, and maybe give us some tips about what we should be backing in the NBL this weekend. Now, first game of Friday, you've got Southeast Melbourne and new coach Josh King having the massive task of having to go down to Tasmania as they try and once again defend the island. Now, this contest straight away, first things first, screams a low score, and that's why the game total is at 168.5 for this one. But with two very defensive teams, yeah, I'm saying a defensive team when talking about Southeast Melbourne here. And that's because the last three games when Sam McKinnon has been in charge, they've averaged just 78 points against in those three games. And then you've got Josh King coming in, known to be a very hard defensive coach. And that's what he's going to expect from his players in this first game while he is on the bench. And then Tasmania, we know Tasmania, they're the second-ranked defensive team in the NBL at the moment with an opposition points per game of just 84.3. So screams under and still screams under even though the total is low there. Then I'm also leaning towards Tasmania because I'm a Tassie fan, but also because I think it is a big task to go there. Tasmania started to find a little bit of a different offensive flow against Brisbane last game. Now, it absolutely was Brisbane. I understand that. But the key in this one was that they had four of their starters score between 13 and 16 points. And their assist count did also increase, which means they're starting to learn what they need to do to score points without Jack McVeigh, and they need to spread the ball because they can't rely on Jordan Crawford and Milton Doyle all the time. So I believe with this type of offense and also getting 24 points off their bench last game against Brisbane is just a positive, and Scott Roth is starting to work out how his team scores points. So I like the Jackies in this one, but only on the money line. With the score being projected to be extremely low, this could be tight and there could be some garbage points at the end. So Jackies money line. And when it comes to the best player prop in this one for me at the moment, it is Jordan Crawford, 4+ assists. Now, with this new style, they're spreading the ball a lot more, and Crawford is starting to become that type of playmaker for the JackJumpers. He's actually registered 6 assists in each of his last 2 games. So going 4+ against Southeast Melbourne is the winner there. All right, game 2, an absolute massive one. Illawarra traveling all the way over to Perth to take on the Wildcats, who shocked Sydney last week. But will they shock the Hawks this week? I don't think so. The Hawks have dominated Perth in each of their 3 games last season. They had an average winning margin of 17.33 with 2 18-point wins and a 16-point win. And this season, they're actually averaging a winning margin of 16.2 points. So when the Hawks are winning, they are winning big. And when Perth are losing, they're losing pretty big at the moment too, because they have an average losing margin of 9.86 points this season. Now, the line here is 2.5 points, obviously with the Hawks being the favourites, and I do believe that they cover that, no worries in the end. But player prop time, there is a bit of question marks around if Trey Kell is going to play or not, suffering that back injury last weekend. Now, so it keeps me away from the Illawarra player props at the moment, but I do like Christian Doolittle. He's arguably been up there as an MVP candidate for the league if Perth was winning a few more games, but he's definitely the MVP in Perth, in my opinion, at the moment. He's been putting up some huge numbers, and he just missed out on his 4th consecutive double-double last game by 1 point. Now, it means he's had 3 double-doubles in his past 4 games and 3 this season. And it looks like now with Cotton out, Pinder's the guy. He's shooting all the balls, or he certainly did last week. So Christian Doolittle is powering under and cleaning up all of the rebounds that are popping about. And we all know Doolittle, he can score, he can shoot the 3 ball, and he can also drive in close. So expect Doolittle to get his 4th double-double of the season up against a hard-working, down-low Illawarra Hawks team where there's going to be plenty of action. So they're your 2 best tips for the Perth game. And I think I've thrown out 5 tips for Friday night's NBL. Now, just remember, gamble responsibly, happy punting, and let us know what you're tipping this weekend in the NBL.